We are Business Besties. I'm Dr. Data, and this is Laura.
That never gets old.
No, it does not.
On day one.
And we are here chatting with Miranda. Will you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Miranda Rott. I'm sole owner and founder of Patriot Heat Air right here in Hollister, Missouri.
So you're the sole owner. You are lucky you don't have to deal with a co-owner.
Yeah.
How did you get into heating and air?
I didn't choose it. I wasn't dreaming of being in heating and air when I was a little girl.
Okay.
Right,
I can
wondered,
imagine.
yes.
Yeah.
No, I was going into dentistry. I was going to be an orthodontist. That's what I thought I was going to do. And several years into college, God said, hey, I've got this little side tour for you. I had an accident. I wasn't able to walk around campus anymore. I wasn't able to serve tables, which was how I was paying my bills.
Mm-hmm.
And the first job that was hiring was a mile and a half from my house, and it paid $1 more an hour than any other job in the area. And it was dispatching for a local heating and air conditioning company. I was like, I'm going to go get that job.
Okay.
Wow.
And the lady at the career center was like, no, you need to apply to a lot of jobs. I'm like, look, I'm pretty overqualified because customer service is all I know. This is customer service and logistics.
Yeah.
I can
Right.
do this.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went into this little kind of dark, grungy office. I don't know if you've been into like a mechanic's office.
Yes.
Or a lot of them
Yes.
aren't. They're not clean and pretty, and they're a little rough.
Yeah.
And the guy looked at me and he said, the job doesn't have any benefits. Do you know it doesn't have any benefits? It's like, yeah, I got that from the ad. It's fine. I can do it. And he said, well, I think you're probably too pretty for it. I don't think it's going to work out. But
Wow.
if you want the job, it starts at 7 a.m. And
Wow.
I thought, oh my God, why?
Right,
Why?
right.
What am I doing here? But at that point, it's like someone tests you. It's like, I don't
Right.
think you can do this. So now I'm hell-bent on a mission to show you how
Oh,
well
yeah.
I can do this.
Oh, yes.
So I ended up, every time I tried to leave and I thought I was going to get back on my path to get back into dentistry, something happened that kept me there. And I was there, I worked for 2 different owners there for almost 10 years.
Oh my
when
gosh.
they decided to change kind of their course. And I was like, I have really big visions for what we can do in this area. And I want to see that through. I want to see if
Wow.
I can change the way HVAC is viewed in this area.
Mhm.
Because I had found out while I was there, I would field phone calls all the time. Someone would say, I had a contractor come out and I gave them thousands of dollars and they didn't finish the work, or it still doesn't work and I can't get a hold of them. They won't come back. Like, who do I call? Who's my advocate?
Right.
You don't have one.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's
Yeah.
because there's not really a statewide licensure program, there's really nothing that says you have to know what you're doing to own an HVAC business. It's really
Oh,
scary.
wow.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have an EPA license, which is a test that took me about a half an hour to take.
Oh, wow.
And I promise you, it didn't teach me how to do heating and air conditioning.
Wow.
It just meant
Wow.
that I could legally buy everything that I needed to do it.
Okay.
Well, that's really not enough. But
Oh, no.
that's what a lot of guys out there have. Maybe they worked for someone for a year or 2 or however long, and they have their own EPA license and they have a truck. And so they slap a magnet on the side of it and go, you know what? Today, I'm Bob's Heating and Air.
Wow.
And some of those guys are really trying hard to do right. And some of them are harmful because they don't know what they don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
some of them aren't, it's not to say that they're malicious, but if you don't know and you're not actively training and learning in this industry every day, you're not doing a good service.
Right. Right.
So my goal was to set out to change that. Like, okay, if there's no advocate for you and there's no baseline for what is considered a professional, legitimate HVAC company in the area, let's create it.
Wow.
let's
Fantastic.
Make it the standard.
What a
I
great
agree.
vision.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, so I started the business in 2017 with myself and 2 technicians with a simple mission. Our goal was to focus on professionalism.
Okay.
You should know who we are. We should be in a professional vehicle, professional uniform. We should call you when we're on our way. We should send you an actual invoice for everything that itemizes what we did for you. We should follow up. We should make sure you're happy with your service. We should warranty with the work that we do for you. That package of professionalism
Sure.
should
Wow.
be the standard.
Yeah, I thought it was a standard. So you
yeah.
obviously have set a really
Yeah.
high standard.
Right. Right. I agree.
It's much more the standard now than it used to be.
Oh, man.
But professionalism, education. Education's a huge portion of what we do, not just for our team, but for our community. Because if I come to your house to service your system and I say, hey, you have a failed capacitor or you have a failed compressor,
We're like,
you
what?
probably don't know the difference between those two terms.
Oh,
But one of them's a part that might cost you $100 installed, and one of them's one that might cost you $2,500 installed.
right.
So there's a big difference. So
Right.
if you don't know enough to protect yourself, then anyone can take advantage of you.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's where it really was a dig for me. It's like I can't be okay with this.
No.
I now know too much to
Right.
not do something about it.
Oh,
So we spend a lot of time educating our customers and so that they can make the right decision. It's
absolutely.
not my money, it's not my home. It's my job to make sure you understand what your failure is today, what your options are moving forward. We can do a short-term repair, we can do a long-term repair. But what would you like to do? And so we spend that time educating. We spend that time educating our team every week so that they can share those things with our customers as well. And lastly, third part of the mission was just so simple. Do what's right.
Do what's right. There
It's
you
not
go.
huge.
No.
It's not novel. It's not monumental. It's something that we should all actually be doing. But at the end of the day, doing what's right might be going back and going, you know what? We installed that for you, and that wire was wrong. That switch was wrong. You know what? You don't owe anything for today. We're just going to make that right for you. That's just doing what's right. That allows us to rest our heads at the end of the day and know that we did a good service for our community. But it's not common. So
Wow.
that's the standard that we've worked on setting for the last 7 years. It's our 7th year in business now.
Wow. So
That
And
is
and I've had
great.
great conversations with other contractors since then. Some that were just maybe, a guy in a truck or a guy in a couple of trucks,
Mm-hmm.
say, come up to me at a trade show or something and say, you know what, you made us up our standards.
wow.
You made it to
Wow.
where I have to have a marked vehicle. I have to have a uniform. We had to do this, this, and this. But you know what? Thank you, because our business is doing better. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
that's a
Oh my
win.
Yes, that is a win.
That's amazing.
So that's what I do, and I love it. I can honestly say I love my job. I love the job I get to go do every day. So
So you
it was
don't
God's path, but it's a really awesome outcome.
and you don't do HVAC yourself. You just do the business side of it.
I really focus on the business side of it. I'm not afraid of crawl spaces, attics, climbing up on
Spiders. We're
rooftops,
just talking about
spiders.
spiders. No, you're good with
No,
spiders?
I don't
Oh.
care. I
Okay,
love
good.
it when I have a new employee or anyone who's like, I'm not really interested in going into that crawl space, or I don't really, they get whatever their excuse
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, let's go. I'm sorry, what? I'll go in first. You come in with me. And they're like, oh, I'm going to have to go in there, aren't I? I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm going to
Yeah.
go, you're going to look kind of silly if you're not willing to go.
Right.
Right.
But,
Right.
I kind of break that ice. Like,
Sure.
I shouldn't ask you to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. But the
Yeah.
reality is, they definitely all have a lot. My team has a lot of skill and knowledge that I don't have. Inversely, I have a lot of office and business knowledge that they don't. So we work really well together. But it's a really humble position as a business owner to realize that without all of them, I don't really have a business.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I don't have a tool bag full of tools. I'm not going to come to your house and diagnose your system. If you tell me the symptoms of it, I can very likely walk you through what the probable, issue could be,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have the first tool to come fix it. You don't want me to come replace your system.
True.
It's not going to work when I'm done.
Wow.
And that's kind of a scary thought too, isn't it? That you rely on others to keep you in business,
Yeah,
right? And that
It's-
you have to trust them that they're going to do the right thing for
Yeah.
your business.
absolutely. Where it really becomes about relationships and how well I communicate with all of them, how much they know that they're appreciated and needed. And so it's a very tight give and take between all of us.
Oh,
Realize that we need each other. And I have several guys that have owned their own HVAC business themselves in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just them in a truck. Maybe they had some employees, and they're like, you know what you do, you can have.
right.
I don't want to do it. I want to
Mhm.
do the part that I'm really good at. I love that you're good at the admin, the HR, the advertising, that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you do that because I just want to do what I'm good at. And it works
Fantastic.
out to be a perfect relationship.
Wow. And is there any animosity with you being the owner and you're a woman and like they can't go to anybody else and complain?
No, I wouldn't say there's animosity. pretty open. I've really learned to soften myself a lot over the years too, and make sure that I'm approachable. Because especially if I'm on a mission, I could accidentally just pile drive right past you, and I don't mean to. I'm just getting stuff done. So I've really had to rein that in over the years and find that softer side, that more nurturing side, and make a point to make eye contact with everyone every chance I get. And how are you doing? And when you look at someone in the eyes, you can tell a lot if they're not well. And then maybe you just have that moment, you pull them aside and go, "What's going on? Do you need some time? Do you need, what can I do for you?"
Right.
And you meet them on their level, whatever that means that for them that day. And that goes a long ways. They also don't have to bring every problem to me. Every department has a manager. So, if it's something you really don't want to tell me about, you can tell your department manager. If you can just be like, you know what, she's just a real pain in my butt. It's fine. You can vent that to someone else. But at the end of the day, I feel like I have a really great relationship with all of them. They know how much they're loved and appreciated.
Oh, that's wonderful. So how many employees do you have now?
There are 18 of us total.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
If you would have told me in 2017 that
Yes.
there would be this many people that I was responsible for this many years later, I don't know if I would have believed you. But I love it. I love what we get to do. And so my goal was to grow. So I knew that we would. I didn't realize it would happen as quickly as it has. But
And you're still growing. Like, do you have an open truck? Like Stephanie was telling us earlier, she's like, I got an empty truck here.
we're always looking for the right person. And
Okay,
that's always the
okay.
answer.
Right.
Because, if you wait until you need someone, the odds of Mr. Right walking or Mrs. Right
Yes.
walking through the front door are pretty slim.
True.
It's going to be a big struggle. So there have been many of times that Mr. Right walked in or Mrs. Right walked in, and I was like, "You're it. You're the personality. You're the person I'm looking for." And we're gonna find stuff for you to do until we get busier.
Yeah.
You make it work because you want that person right now, and you don't want to lose them to another opportunity somewhere else. So it's funny how if you just have this collection of wonderful people, how you also find work for them. It's a God thing.
That
It
is
is.
always
so
worked
true.
out.
But yeah,
God
you've
takes care of you.
experienced that.
Yeah, I do.
We have
And
too.
well, I was thinking too when you said that, it's God's plan. It's God's plan that I always think, God, I'm fine. Like, I'll do your plan. I'm following your will. If you could just give me some insight, like, how about a roadmap? Where are we going here? Right. And one time I was just talking to God, and that same thing, like, just tell me what I'm doing. Come on. Like, I don't want to keep doing this, but I got to just tell me where I'm going. I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I just heard, like, you wouldn't believe me anyway. Right. And I thought, that's so true.
It is.
Because if you said to me, you're going to quit your job of 26 years and you're going to start a business with your husband and I'm like, what? No, I'm not. Right. And even when we lived in Illinois, if he would have told me like, hey, you're going to move to Branson, Missouri and you're going to teach down there and you're going to be a cheerleading coach, I'd be like, psh, no, I'm not. So I would never believe God if he told me anything in my life that would happen. So we kind of came to that little consensus that I said, you're right. All right, God, you're right. Right. Don't tell me, but help me make it. Whatever it is that you're going to do, just help me make it right. Help me do it right. And I just have to trust in you because you have the plan. My plan wasn't all this, but it's working.
Yeah, I'm
it's
so
working.
glad my plan didn't work out
Oh,
because as an
yeah.
adult, I think of working in people's mouths all day long, and that's not for me. I'll take a crawl space any day
Yes.
over a dirty mouth.
I was wondering, like, I don't know how people do that at all. When I go to
wouldn't.
the dentist, I'm like, how do you do this all day? Yeah, no.
It wouldn't have worked.
Oh man. So I do. Well, I have several questions. Well, first of all, do you mind if I ask how old you are? Because you look like you're so young.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
definitely.
thank you. I'm 41. I have
You obviously have a very
two
good skin
preteen
regimen.
boys. Two preteen boys, and I just had a baby girl last year. So,
Wow.
because God has an awesome sense of humor too.
Yeah,
And thought,
he
you know
does.
what? You need one more thing.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she's going to be a tyrant.
Wow.
Does she have red hair? That's all I need to know.
She has red hair in the family, so it's yet to be determined. But
Okay.
I am
Oh, boy.
scared.
Yeah,
Very
redheads. No offense, Dana.
I
But
know.
oh man, that's a
I
tough
know,
kid.
look out. My little Emma's got some red coming in. The whole family's like, oh, I think that's red. I'm like, what? That's a good thing. She's
Oh.
red. She's like, go, go, go. Like, okay, yeah, go, go. Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry.
with your employees, do you advertise to get them, or like you said, when the right person walks in? But like when you started with your two, how did you find these two people?
The two people that I originally hired, I already knew. So
Okay.
that did make it easier. I knew one of them, and then he knew another, and that. So we kind of brought that together. I have advertised coast to coast in the past through like Indeed and other platforms like
No
that
kidding.
because, well, I'm going to say this with all the love in the world because I've lived in this community since I moved to College of the Ozarks in 2001, and I love our area. But
Yes.
sometimes if you're trying to break the mold of the mindset, you have
Yeah.
to look outside of your area.
Mm.
So I really needed people that weren't necessarily from this area. So we ended up with, someone from South Carolina, someone from Louisiana, someone from Michigan. And we ended up with this mix of other folks from other areas, and they were looking to change their lifestyle based on, the area that I'm in has really grown a lot and changed, and I'm looking for more laid back life. I'm looking for that like life, or I like to
Wow.
fish, or whatever it is, something that drew them here, and we provided the job that came along with it. So that helped us a lot to shift the mindset. And then after that, we just kind of kept advertising here and there. And as the
Wow,
right
I
people
love
showed
that.
up, we just, yes,
I love that
you will
because we
come,
do
you will
kind of
come.
feel trapped in our area sometimes, like this
Yeah.
is it. There's no life
Right.
outside of this. Or maybe we can go the whole state, but I love how you're like, hey, well, anybody
Anywhere.
can come here.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
There's really
Yeah.
a lot of draw to this
Wow.
area.
Oh,
there
Branson's
is.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It makes me think, like,
Me too.
Because I always think about, like, do we have enough chefs in this area? Where can I get more chefs? Is there Oh, there's chefs
Yeah.
all over the
Way
place now.
outside
Wow.
the box.
Wow.
If you throw the box away, the options are endless.
Absolutely.
So, did you offer them any kind of incentive to move here?
Sometimes, just really kind of feel that conversation out. Some
Mhm.
were already looking to move. They had already been planning for it. They were selling a house. They were going to have the funds for it. They weren't interested in that. They were just interested in coming to a place that had good culture and was going to be taken care of. Others, that was a deal breaker for them, and we did offer it. So
Mhm.
whatever it took to get the right people in there.
Right. Wow.
Oh.
Man, that is okay. That
I know.
is.
I
It
feel like
gives me
I've
so much hope.
touched
Like,
it.
oh my God, wait, I can't
I know.
find the right people.
Yeah.
Hold on a
Yeah.
second. That's a
Well, and
great
depending on
idea.
what you're doing now, because like for example, when I had my daughter, my office assistant that works directly with me, handles accounts payable, things like that. She had a baby a week and a half earlier.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
we didn't plan this well.
Oh.
And so, but after COVID, most everyone learned to do everything from home.
Sure.
We actually had office staff that was in Pennsylvania. They weren't even near us. I've never met them face to face, but we interviewed, we talked, and they took care of things. We would be on
Wow.
phone calls together. One of us would be home. They'd be in Pennsylvania. Someone would be at the office. And there's a lot of options, just really depending on what you're hiring for.
Wow.
They don't have to be in your own backyard anymore, and it really opens things up.
Oh my gosh, my mind
Again,
is
hope.
like
Yep.
reeling. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's hope.
Your
There is
best
hope.
customer service person could be across the country.
Oh, wow,
That's
that's
true.
fantastic.
I'm not some AI robot that I
Yeah.
can't figure out.
His
Yeah.
name
real
is Jasper.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're real big on employing real people.
Right. Right.
Wow. So that is just, I think that's probably such wonderful advice of really thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
And I'll bet the people who work for you were like, that's the kind of person that I want to work with.
I don't know. I think half of them thought, wow, she's crazy. This will be interesting. Because everything that they've known about the industry is like, well, but we've always done it that way. Okay.
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah.
And when they could say, well, that's just always how we've done it.
Right.
Not good enough. Nope, we're going to throw that idea out. We're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to find out why and what is the best practice and how should it be done. And they're like, but it's always been done that way. I'm sorry, you're going to have to let that go because we're going to do
Right.
things differently here. And, I've definitely had people come and go over the years that were like, you can't do that. Watch me.
That's right.
So, definitely been challenged by folks over the years that said you can't do what you're doing. You're not, this isn't going to work. And I said, that's okay. I really appreciate your season with us.
Oh,
And
love
everyone
that.
serves
Yes.
a season. Some people
True.
will serve many seasons and some people will serve shorter seasons. Okay. Everyone has a purpose.
I love that idea about employees coming in and out like that with a season. Because I think if I would have known that earlier, like people come in and out of your life and they do
Yeah.
serve a purpose, and it's okay to let them go out of your life. And you serve a purpose in their life for a certain time too.
Absolutely.
And I think I spent so much time in my life like holding on to like, but these are my people, but I have people here. But well, aren't you my person? Oh, like it's
Yeah.
kind of disheartening to realize that if I would have known that before, like just let people come in and out of your life. It's okay, and you're going to go in and out of other people's lives for a reason and a purpose. And it's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I love that.
man.
They can still be your people. You just might not be on this mission together for the long haul.
Right.
Okay.
You might just email or text every once in a while or send a picture or, right.
Yep.
I love it.
That is awesome because when I worked at the hospital, they give little cheesy things, and my manager and she didn't know she was giving it to me. They literally had little things in bags. Here's your bag. Oh yay! What did I get? Oh, it's not a raise. Darn it! So, but it was a little. I swear to God, she probably bought it at a yard sale. Probably not even at the Dollar Tree. But it said, "To everything there is a season." And I literally kept it. I still have it at my laser desk. I'm like,
Yeah.
"To everything there is a season." And when you said that,
Yeah.
I'm like,
It
oh
is.
my gosh, yes, there is.
Yep.
So, yeah, not only do we have a season, but people in our life have the season as well. And yeah, that's great. So,
And everything we do has a season. So, like,
Yeah.
let's enjoy this season. Let's enjoy this little podcast season right now while we're
Yeah.
doing it, like, and just loving it and
Yeah.
meeting people and growing that way. And who knows what next season is,
I
right?
don't know.
Right.
And think about the seasons we've even been through as long as
know.
we've known each other,
I
for
know.
heaven's sakes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I know. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I remember you and John saying to me one time, like, well, you could go to school. You can go to doctorate school. And I'm like, what?
Of course you can.
What? Well, I guess I could. And then I'm like, doctorate school? Oh yeah, that was so long ago. Yeah, I got it. Right? So it's just crazy that there are seasons and there are people who are in, and we were in our lives like close, and then we kind of, like things that we're doing in our lives just
know.
keep,
Yeah, in and
intertwining.
out. Like I think we were so busy at one point. We're like, if we can meet at least once a month
Yep, we
on a
did.
Tuesday for dinner, this is where we're going to have to maintain the relationship because this is all we have to give.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
and now I
was-
see you
it
every
was
week.
good. I know.
So
That's great.
you just take what you can do, and there you go.
In that season.
New
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I love it.
How do you balance having children and a baby on top of it all with your work schedule?
Oh, let's not pretend like I'm good at that.
Okay.
I have a wonderfully supportive husband, so I will say that
That's
makes
good.
a huge difference, and he loves being daddy to that little girl. So that is huge. And we literally look at our schedule day to day and go, "What do you need today?" Okay, I need the morning. I need to be up and out the door before anyone even knows I exist, but I can be back by 5 o'clock to take care of home life, or vice versa.
Sure.
I can be here in the morning, but I've got to have a long night tonight. I've just got to catch up. And having that has really helped me to balance. Before that relationship, I would honestly say, averaging working 60 hours a week was pretty normal.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good balance.
Right.
But my kids are much happier now that they see me more.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
bet.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's tough to balance, though. You just give and take. Fortunately, now I have a really supportive team. So, like Stephanie was talking about, I know that I can take a vacation now. I can go somewhere and everything with the team is going good. There's someone in charge of each department. They know what their roles and responsibilities are, and they've worked with me long enough that they know exactly what my goal and mission is and how to act on my behalf, even if something were to come up. So it's really great when I check in now and, I'll be on vacation or I'll be visiting family and I'll be like, "Hey guys, how's everything going?" Because, we always have this group text constantly going.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "I'm sorry, our fearless leader is unavailable right now. Please check back on Monday." Like they will never tell me what's going on if I'm not there. 'Cause
Right.
they're like, just trust us to handle it. And it was
Nice. Wow.
one of the best life lessons that I learned recently, actually with someone who's worked with me the longest. We just kind of reached a really static point between us, and I couldn't understand what the struggle was. And like, come on, you got to talk to me. You got to tell me what is it? What is it? And we finally reached this tipping point where I was like, I don't really know which way this is going to fall in this like watershed conversation, but we have to make a breakthrough in group. And she finally looked at me and she said, "You've taught me how to do everything that you want me to do in this office. Really undermines me and makes me feel insignificant and not good enough when you step in and do my job for me." It
Yeah.
hit me like a ton of bricks because the business is my baby.
Yeah.
Right.
I had done every single job in that office by
Yeah.
myself, struggled through it, and by gosh, I do know the best way to do all of it. But the reality was, I have this amazing team that I pay to come and do this job, and I've trained them to do this job, and they know exactly how I feel about it and exactly how I want it to be done. And all I was doing was getting in my own way when I would jump back in because someone would call me personally and I'd be like, hey, I got a service call. I went in and put it on the schedule and I put it for this day and I told them this. And I would just see this blank look. That blank look was, you screwed up my whole schedule. What are you doing? You know? So it was the best lesson to learn that if you're going to have people come in to help you grow your business and benefit your business, the best thing that you can do is trust them
Yeah.
and let them do it. And no one is going to do it exactly like you're going to do it.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Do they understand the concept? Did they get the purpose and mission accomplished? Then congratulate them and praise them. And when someone asks to talk to you directly, talk to them. But when it comes down to doing that task, use that as an opportunity to build that person up. Be like, you know what? This person handles that schedule and she's amazing at it. Like, I can't even keep up with what she does with it anymore. She does such a good job. Can I have her get you on that schedule? Let me put you in touch with her. And so you use that as an opportunity to show them what a great job they're doing and step back into your own lane.
Oh my
Really
God.
nice.
What great. But when you said that, your conversation, I'm like, oh, I felt that too.
Yeah. Oh, it's a tough lesson to learn.
Yeah.
It really is. And I truly, in my heart of hearts, thought I was still helping. And I did not realize that, I was pushed away one of my greatest employees, and I had no idea. So it took a lot of nerve for her to tell me, but it was one of those life lessons that I will never forget that moment.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's a great lesson. I would like to learn from you.
Absolutely. I think that's such a good learning rate. And that everybody gets it done. It might not be exactly your way, but it still is doing it your way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, how are we doing on time over there?
We are sitting at 27 minutes. We're
Perfect.
almost
Well,
done.
we need to wrap it up then.
I think
All
so.
right.
Yeah, Miranda, thank you so much because
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, I've walked away with several things. In fact, I'm like, make mental notes, Laura. Go back and listen so I can write some notes on some things, especially getting in the way because I tend to be. Whitmore's looking at me like, yes, you are very controlling.
Yes. Well, I was thinking about that even when Jeff cooks, he'll tell one of the chefs like, okay, do this, this, and this, and then he'll walk over and do it. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just tell the chef to do it? He's like, yeah. So what are you doing? I'm doing it, right? So it's hard to do that, like let that go. Like they can do it. And I say I can always tell who made the salads, just based on the pictures that are taken. But it's still a salad. Everybody got a salad, and it's a wonderful salad, and yeah. So let it happen. Let everybody have their own uniqueness that they add to your company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love it.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Yes,
and
thank
I
you.
just
Thanks
I
for
just love
having
that
me.
you both ladies came and talked to us today. That's wonderful. Thank you.
We really appreciate being here. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and I know that this is going to help a lot of other ladies who are going through the struggles of having a business. So,
Just starting a business or being in it for
Yeah.
a long time,
Yeah.
and then here we are. And you couldn't go on vacation like that when you first started.
Heck no. I definitely didn't vacation for the first 5 years.
There you go. There you go. That helps people okay, I better just hold on another few years, and then I can get to a place.
Buckle
Yes. So then maybe I can go on vacation.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Good. I love it.
Goals.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Great. Come back anytime.
I will.
Yes, please.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.